What is up, guys? Today I want to talk about Henry Cejudo and what necessarily does a return to the UFC look like for him? Because within the last year or so, he's been really active, taunting and provoking and ruffling some feathers of current UFC champs and contenders. Aljamain Sterling, Conor McGregor for some odd reason as well, Alexander Volkanovski, Sugar Sean O'Malley. So many people Cejudo has confronted and tried to stir some buzz around for his return fight, which I can't fault him because Dana White has already said that a return fight as a championship fight is not on his radar for Henry Cejudo. So Cejudo's best course of action at this point is to really stir some feathers and get some public support, to have Dana White maybe cave in to fan support for Cejudo to come back into a championship fight. But what does that necessarily look like, guys? I mean, I threw some names out there and some people that he's really been talking back and forth with, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Aljamain Sterling, Alexander Volkanovski, Conor McGregor. But the two fights that really interest me, guys, is really Aljamain Sterling and Alexander Volkanovski. Aljamain Sterling, I say, because Aljamain Sterling's bread and butter is jiu-jitsu, and Henry Cejudo, if you all know, is a phenomenal wrestler. And I always love the matchups where we have the wrestler versus the grappler. I'm someone who supports the grappler. I think that grappling jiu-jitsu will always be superior to pure wrestling. And because when you're a wrestler, you open yourselves up to traps naturally against a person who's really good at jiu-jitsu. So that would be a really interesting matchup. I mean, Cejudo is, I'm gonna say that Cejudo is the better striker. Aljamain Sterling, his striking is to set up his takedowns. Again, the jiu-jitsu is his bread and butter. Cejudo is a phenomenal striker. So in that matchup, I see Cejudo probably wanting to keep things on the feet. And if things do go on the ground, it should be very interesting. Can Aljamain Sterling hold Cejudo down? Can Cejudo avoid some of Aljamain Sterling's traps and submissions as well? Really interesting. In addition to that, guys, Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, Alexander Volkanovski is someone who has gained a lot of respect from me, going out there and, pretty much outclassing Max Holloway in the trilogy fight. But Alexander Volkanovski is susceptible to being taken down. I don't think he has a very good ground game. No one has really held him down there. And off the top of my head, I can't really say someone has really held him down, or really dominated him, in wrestling. But wrestling is something that he doesn't really, showcase a lot in his fights. Is a lot of striking. And I believe that Henry Cejudo, yes, he'll be moving up weight a lot to fight Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, it's possible, if he's able to hold down Volk and hold him there and ground and pound, it's very possible that we could see Henry Cejudo take that belt away from Alexander Volkanovski. So that is a fight that I would love to see. I mean, Cejudo's also a great striker, so is Volkanovski. I think that fight would be fireworks. So guys, yeah, that concludes a little bit of my thoughts, All of the names that have been in the pot for Cejudo, I think Aljamain Sterling and Volkanovski are very viable and exciting fights that Cejudo should pursue once he comes back into the UFC. Will those fights necessarily happen as his first return fight? Not on Dana's watch, but never say never, guys. Anything can really happen. So yeah, that concludes my thoughts, guys. I mean, I enjoy having Cejudo back in the UFC. I love his personality. I think the more contenders we have in the division, the better, especially now that some divisions have become a little bit more stale, like Volkanovski outclassing everyone in featherweight, and Aljamain Sterling as well. The bantamweight isn't that it's quiet, but it's good to have a legend return. So yeah, guys, let me know. What do you think Cejudo should do? Should he return? Should a championship fight be his first return fight? And who should it be against, guys? So thanks for watching, and subscribe here for more videos like this in the future.